always the maximum number in India.
Oh, brilliant.
Awesome.
The last time we called up was 3 months ago. You were just announced as the Premier League's brand ambassador to India. You were mixing your skills out there with Nemanja Vidic earlier today. It seems to be going well, your new role.
Well, I have to say, it is a matter of great honor, a huge privilege to be the brand ambassador of the Premier League, which I genuinely believe is the best league in the world. Round of applause. You guys are missing your cue, guys.
Yeah.
Should we try that again?
Shall I have a cue card saying applause?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Which I genuinely believe
Yeah.
is the best league in the world. There you go. There you go. No, this is the truth. You know, the sheer entertainment value, man, just, you know, from just watching it. I've been into Premier League football now since the turn of the century, almost like 17, 18 years now. Hooked the minute it started getting telecast in India. And I watched my first Premier League match where I met you a day after.
We just showed the video.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that being your first ever live Premier League game?
I can't believe it. It's
3 goals in 5 minutes.
It's the stuff of dreams. It's like straight out of a script. I'm watching Arsenal-Liverpool at the Emirates. You have that kind of a humdinger of a contest. I could not have asked for more. So many goals. I met so many of my footballing idols. I met Sadio Mane, Patrick Vieira. I was like jelly when I met Patrick Vieira. I was like, hey, this is Patrick Vieira at the Emirates. So being an Arsenal fan, you have to understand the sentiment. All this is a huge deal for me, just coming back to being the brand ambassador. First, it initially started as just excitement.
Yeah.
You know, something that I'm so into, to be selected as the brand ambassador, it was just sheer excitement. And then it kind of dawned on me that it comes with a sense of responsibility. You know, you have to, I feel like I now have a role in growing and developing the sport of football and promoting sports culture in India.
Yeah.
So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I get to watch matches. You know, I get to be a part of these wonderful initiatives like the Premier Skills Initiative.
Which you saw today, yeah?
Yes. I get to meet these legends. It's a real trip. It's surreal. It's like my Twitter bio says, it's like living the dream.
Yeah. Why did you choose Arsenal?
Okay.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with Arsenal. I'm just asking, you know.
But why does your tonality have that undercurrent of...
It's not meant to. It's because I'm a Leicester fan. It came out naturally.
I like Jamie Vardy.
Yeah,
I think
he's having a party all the time. Yeah.
So, Arsenal, because my history with football, it started in the early 90s. You know, we used to watch World Cup football. That was the kind of football that we had access to watching. Yeah. So I started with Roberto Baggio and the likes. You know, I was a huge fan of the Italy national squad. Brazil, of course, 96, 98, started growing up a little more, getting more and more into football. We started getting access to video games. You know, that kind of, you know, you learn the names and then you see the same people. Yeah. So it was with international football. And then league football started being telecast, you know, and once I started watching the Premier League, I was hooked, instantly hooked. And at the time, just so happened that Arsenal was going through the purple patch, as they say. The Invincibles were playing at the time. Vieira, Lundberg, Pires, Thierry, the King, Henry.
Adams,
I mean,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, that squad playing the most three-dimensional, never been witnessed before kind of football. I was like, look at this team. Look at how they play. They play the game in a principled way, the way football should be played, playing it well, winning and making it look damn good. That's why Arsenal.
Okay, no, so how listen, you're telling me you are as big
You tell me, have you seen a player as graceful on the ball as Henry? The man, he's like a gazelle.
No, I haven't. No, it's true. So there's no bigger Arsenal fan than you, right?
I mean...
No, listen. Yes or no?
There are bigger Arsenal fans.
No, but you're pretty big.
I'm a pretty big
right.
Arsenal fan.
I've got a killer question for you.
Okay. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Manish. Don't do it.
No.
Not that one.
I gotta ask
Not
you
the
this
hashtag. No, please, no. No.
Are you ready? Here we go. If you had the choice, one choice, to choose between Arsenal winning the Premier League or India winning the World Cup?
India winning the World Cup. Come on, I don't even have to think about that.
All right. I just had to test you on that one. Just to make
Come
sure.
on, that's
I
a
knew.
no-brainer.
So when you met Patrick Vieira and the way your knees wobbled, as you've already just mentioned, did you have an insight as to what it's like then to be a man fan, to be a fan of someone when you yourself have so many million fans?
I had 2 incidents. The latter one being with Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
But the first one was with Thierry Henry. You know, he happened to come to Mumbai some time ago. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it to meet him that night. But I hustled. I gathered a bunch of friends and I made it. And you know, I was in this, my heart was beating fast and I was trying to get there. And I entered the room and I laid eyes on him. And suddenly all the emotions that I felt watching him play, they all started surging through me. And I was almost moved to tears just seeing this man in person. I have such great reverence. He's one of my favorite footballers of all time.
Yeah.
And the way he was with me, Manish, with such grace, such a humble guy.
He's a cool dude, yeah.
He's like completely a gentleman and charismatic to another level. The amount of patience he showed with not just me, with everybody who was excited to meet him, you know, it changed me forever. And this is very recently. I have so much more value and respect for the fan-celebrity engagement, you know, that I understand. I used to wonder, how is it that some people meet you and they're in tears?
Yeah.
You know, I used to find, I had not experienced that myself, so I used to wonder about it. But having been through it, you know, this is the kind of inspiration your idol gives you.
Yeah.
You know, he, after my interaction with him, it's made me more kind, more humble, more generous. The way he treated people, I watch him, admire him, take inspiration from him, and I try and pay it forward because he inspires me. You try to pay that goodness forward.
Yeah.
One of the most memorable interactions of my life. Sorry, can I ask you to leave from there? It's distracting. Come.
It's all happening.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's just like right behind Manish's head.
I thought you were looking at me a bit funny, I'll be honest.
And then at the Emirates, Kate was there. And I was with my best friend who actually initiated me. He is large part of the reason I became an Arsenal fan is because I used to watch with him. And he was already so passionate about the North London team.
Yeah.
So we were pitchside. We finished all our responsibilities. It was wonderful to be pitchside at the Emirates. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous stadium. And Sadio Mane came out to kind of get a feel of the atmosphere, just get a, you know, feel it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Shook hands with him. I was like, yes, Sadio Mane. And then we were walking through the tunnel. We were done. We were walking through the tunnel. My friend Karan, he was walking ahead of me. And now I want you to imagine, I'm at the end of the tunnel, and I'm walking through, and I'm seeing Karan is walking in front of me, and he makes the turn. And as soon as he makes the turn, he goes like, oh my God. So I was like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? And he was bumbling, so he couldn't indicate or communicate to me in that state what he was trying to say. So I was like, what is going on here? And I took the turn. I was like, oh my God. It was Patrick Vieira. You know, he's an imposing figure.
He is, yeah.
Somebody who I'd never, in my wildest imagination, think that I'd get to meet standing in front of me. It was one hell of a moment.
Yeah.
One I'll never forget. I have a picture, you know, so I'm fanboying like crazy over the footballers that I meet. These are people you see on television, cheer for, that you have a sentiment, emotional connection with, because you feel for your team, you know, you watch them week after week. So meeting these people, meeting Henry, meeting Perez, meeting Vieira, meeting Vidic, it's surreal.
When you're shooting your films, do you get time to watch any of the games?
Absolutely.
How?
I make the time.
Are you in between shots?
Because
Listen, in between scenes,
yeah.
I'm picturing you looking at your mobile.
Yeah.
No, is it really
Yeah,
true?
it's true. It's true. That's how you do it. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the app, but it's definitely on my phone, and it's my favorite app because it allows me to watch the live telecast of the matches. So yeah, first of all, and my manager can vouch for this, every time we're scheduling, it's almost as if there is an understanding we're both conditioned to not keep anything on a Saturday evening or a Sunday evening. You know, that time is a little bit precious.
Unless you're in your hideaway where you're in some hideaway.
Yeah, those 20 days are, you know, you can't really focus on anything else. No friends, no family time, no nothing. That's really sacred time in the characterization process. But yeah, if I'm out about doing anything that I can't avoid the scheduling clash, sometimes matches are at 5 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m. and you're still at work. Then you'll see me with the mobile. They'll be like, "Sir, shot ready." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just touching my makeup up. Just be with you in a second. Just wait for the ball to go out of bounds. Okay, yeah, go give the shot. Come back. You're watching. You know, there's a certain atmosphere on the set, and sometimes you know, something will happen.
You must drive your director
crazy.
You'll
just react with expletives, unmentionables. You'll be like, "Sorry, it's nothing. It's nothing." So yeah, it is. I have to catch that little window to kind of watch the matches. It's great that we have these apps. That way you don't miss out.
Brilliant. Now look, last time I spoke to you, we were still waiting on the release. Of Padmavat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, blimey, talk about a film that's obviously rocketed since its release back in December. Did it happen in December?
January.
January. So, I mean, you were with us in December. We're waiting. So it's made you a very busy man since then.
Yeah, it's
breaking records all over the place.
Yeah, it's doing something I had never imagined. It's one of those rare films that sort of encompasses everything, the critical acclaim, the commercial success, the love of the audience. And it seems to me, the way audiences have reacted to the film, that it's one of those films for the ages, you know. It's one that will be remembered, because those are the films you really want to be a part of. You know, films come and films go, but the ones that really matter are the ones that are remembered after years. You know, you can watch it 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, and still appreciate it. With the films that have that timeless quality, you know, those are the ones that you want most in your filmography. I'm very proud to say Padmavat is seeming to me like it's going to be one of those.
And many congratulations to you on that. But to tie the Bollywood thing in with the football, I mean, if you had to play any footballer in the world in a Bollywood movie, which one would it be?
I don't know. I don't know. Any suggestions? Anyone? Yeah?
Who do you say? Who do you say?
Sunil Chhetri, Robin Singh, I don't know.
Well, if there was a Premier League player that you could emulate. You mentioned Henry. Would you want to play Henry?
I don't have the height to play Vieira. I don't have the looks to play Ljungberg.
He's got the hair for Ljungberg, to be honest. the energy he's got, yeah.
I think I pulled off Alauddin Khilji. So maybe I could be Vidic. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Just a badass. Just like, come at me, bro. Come at me.
And if you talk about you being a big Premier League fan, and I know this time last year during the Movement Conference we had Abhishek come in, and obviously he's a big fan of the Premier League. Do you ever watch games with other members of the Bollywood fraternity? Is there a bit of banter between you guys or not?
There is banter, yes, there is banter for sure. Banter's one of my favorite things. I'm a big trash talker. And sometimes even in a formal sort of engagement, now and then, I'm not able to control my verbal diarrhea, so yeah, I'm a big trash talker. But yeah, Abhishek's a big Chelsea fan. Yeah. Arjun Kapoor is a big Chelsea fan. And we go back and forth. Bantering with each other.
So what's going to happen on Sunday? With the League Cup final?
I'm biting my nails, you know. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I can't even watch, you know. And I keep telling myself till the last minute, I can't watch. I'm not going to watch. And I'm watching, and I'm heartbroken. And like you said, I usually like to watch alone, unless I'm assured that the people that I'm watching with are the people I want to watch with and not a single extra person. Yeah. Otherwise, that viewing thing is very an immersive engagement for me. So I prefer to watch alone unless it's the 3 or 4 people who I know are on the same page.
Yeah.
Because when people, I can't go to bars and pubs personally, because when people jabber stuff, like I want to get into a fight. So I'd rather, so I just rather watch Shanti say alone and implode rather than explode, which I think again is going to happen on Sunday.
Actually, I've seen, there's been a story about Rio Ferdinand getting into a hoodie to stand in the away end at a game to watch Manchester United play and not to get grief from all the other supporters around him. Would you ever do something like that?
I mean, Rio's proper thug life, So, maybe, I don't know. It's a bit scary. It's a bit scary.
Yeah. It's a bit more comfortable.
If you're Rio Ferdinand, you have the confidence to do it.
Yeah. Well, he played along Vidic, to be honest, so he's no shy at all. Listen, stay on here, because you're going to be part of our next panel discussion.
All right.
But that's a great way to warm us up for the panel discussion, because it's all about fan engagement.
Super.
And you've spoken about fans, and you've been on the receiving end, and now how the tide has turned for you with the Patrick Vieira incident. Put your hands together, please, for Ranveer Singh.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Fan bases in India, you can see there are 2 different countries. One where he comes from, which is Goa, Bengal, Northeast, Kerala.
Yeah.
And then there's rest of India. The part that I come from, and you will understand where the fan engagement process starts for us, is at the end of the first year of ISL, once the season was over. First year was very hurried. We never got time to engage with fans. At the end of the first year, we got onto social media, we saw who are the fans who are writing to us, and we had a call out for all the fans to come, and we did a fan meet, bringing all our key players for the fan meet. We are expecting a few thousand to come.
Right.
There were 21 people who walked in.
21?
21. And that's where we sat, and we said, what's the next step? Where do we go from here? And we started a slogan, which is everyone 21. We said, each one of us, let's try to get 21 more guys to come. And that's where the Orange Army, which is now the militant fan group, official fan group, which is there. And now we have a few thousands. We fill up the stadiums with 8,000, 10,000. But it's been a journey which started from there, very unlike Akshay. So I'll leave it to him to explain how it's been in Goa. But for us, it's a very challenging journey from there. But I'm very happy in 2.5 years. We have created a very, very loyal fan base. We travel to various places. There's away travels. And things are improving from there.
So may I?
Hello? You're a moderator.
How is Arjun Kapoor working out?
Arjun is doing pretty well. So
I think he's doing very well. I've seen all his expressions in his social media posts. Yeah, just like that.
Yes.
Just like that.
Isn't that too good?
I love it.
Thankfully,
he brings a
we are
great
giving
energy.
an opportunity to do it because we're winning some games.
Yeah, he's bringing good energy. Yeah? I mean, honestly, if I may say so from my point of view, ever since he's associated, there's a great energy around Pune.
Yes. And it helps because he's himself a football fan like you. So it helps in terms of engaging with the fans. So yeah, it's working out well.
Akshay?
So we bought in to FC Goa about 1.5 years ago, at a time when FC Goa was going through quite a tumultuous stage. They weren't sure about whether they were going to continue. There was question about their ownership, and that's what we sort of came into. And I think that's where I learned sort of my first lesson about fan engagement. like I come from a marketing background, so I thought fan engagement was, your traditional engagement, and like we measure engagement. But I think my first lesson was that engagement is emotional, and purely emotional, because when we came in, like initially we were resented. We weren't from there. We came into something, and we had to learn to kind of channel that resentment, because we had to take ownership and realize, look, this is their passion, this is their engagement. Even though they aren't happy about this change and us coming on board, we have to take this and realize that we have to be grateful for the fact that they care enough to not like us, and sort of work from there. And I mean, having a marketing background, our social media engagement numbers were through the roof. But true engagement really comes in, like we saw that beginning of this year, when the product is good, which is like the team is playing well, they appreciate what's happening on the pitch, and like you're doing something for the youth of Goa and the grassroots and stuff, and that's what really sort of turned it around for us, I think.
But wouldn't the bottom line just be success on the pitch means a bigger fan base? Or is that far too simple?
So, I spend a lot of time in understanding a fan and his psychology, because we had to do it. We had to build it from scratch. There was one of the trips when I went to Premier League, and we were meeting a lot of clubs, and we asked them, how do you define a fan? Where does the process start? And a number of times it was when he comes for the first time to the stadium or buys the first season ticket. A lot of time those answers came, and I was left wondering that we will have to think about our own formula, our own framework to look at it, because even the Man United fans or Arsenal fans in India don't fall under the fan definition there, because they would never be going there. So I started personally doing a lot of research work on forming our own model, our own framework. And if I take a couple of minutes to tell you where it comes from.
Yeah, by all means.
So there's an organization behaviorist called David McClelland, who talks about the need of a human being. He did his work about 20 years after the Maslow, and he came out with the 3 important needs that a person has: the need for power, the need for affiliation, and the need for achievement. The NAC, the N affiliation, and N power. And we figured out that fans actually need this, and we started creating a framework in Pune City, which is to create a platform where they engage. So affiliation, they all come together, they go for away matches, they experience things together, they chant together. The second one was for the need for power. So it's a proximity to power. We laid down an access to them to approach us in the club. For that matter, every week, I talk to the fans at least 3 to 4 times through social media. And this is for 2.5 years now. So we have been doing it on a weekly basis with them. A proximity to us, and the most important is what you asked about winning, which is a sense of achievement, a need for achievement. And that comes from winning. And we laid down our youth teams. We started participating. We lifted the IFA Shield, which is Joy was talking about, the one which in 1911 Mohan Bagan beat. It's the same shield. Our youth teams went and won that. We're doing much better now, and obviously it helps to win. But there's much more emotional connect.
Tim,
Varun, or is it both? Like, I don't know. You're confusing the hell out of us.
It's Virat, it's Virat.
Okay, it's Virat, it's Virat.
I think with ambassadors and with sponsors, we have to look at more than one season and more than one campaign. And I think we have to find a way to like tell good stories, which can kind of, like in a story which has a 5-year or a 10-year kind of gestation period. So if these are ambassadors that are going to be here for not just like, 1 year, it's on a one-term deal. Like, can we come up with a story of how through the grassroots, where we bring a sponsor on board, the ambassador is representing the entire sort of story and not just a particular marketing campaign, is how we go about sort of engaging with, that's what we're trying to do with Virat. In fact, next week, he's launching our foundation for us. The idea is to kind of engage them in initiatives that are going to be there for 10 years as opposed to, we know Virat can't attend matches very often, like he's the busiest man in the country, so.
Yeah. But then there's you and the Premier League just looks like a natural fit. And some people might be skepticism, but you bring genuine enthusiasm when it sits in your lap and there is that natural link between you and that other brand.
That is of utmost importance to me, that any entity that anything that I associate with has to be genuine.
Yeah.
It has to be bona fide. If it's not the Premier League, let me say it's another thing. I'm selling a toothpaste. I ought to be using that toothpaste, and I ought to be experiencing everything that product promises to me. So I genuinely believe that from the heart. I'm convinced of it, and so I can sell it, endorse it, and only if it's organic, if that association, will it bear fruit, according to me.
Yeah.
This is in my experience. So,
Because you can't fake that enthusiasm.
true. Which is why, for a large number of years, there were a lot of sports entities wanting to associate.
Yeah.
You know, but my only thing to them would be, I can't fake it. It will show. The seams will show at some point. You know, it'll show that it's not really heartfelt.
Yeah.
So when the Premier League came along, then I absolutely jumped at it, because there's genuinely a connection there. There's
there.
feeling there.
Yeah.
So even if, and I love doing this, I'm always on Twitter with you, watching the matches, tweeting. It really, that energy is real. It's organic, and so it spreads.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got to be legit. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'd say from our perspective, I was lucky enough to meet.
Very first endorsement in my whole life. What does that tell you?
Arvind,
That's just the beauty about sport, right? Because at the end of the day, there are certain things.
is there any wacky ideas you might have to leave us with to get fans engaged or not?
Well, I think today was a wonderful experience. We engaged with children, myself and Nemanja Vidic, at Andrews Ground. And there you sort of saw the vision actually transpiring, right? At its very core, you want to get young people engaging with football across the world. And football being the beautiful sport, the one that binds the whole world together, transcends boundaries, transcends cultures. It's a language people speak across the world. It's almost, I don't even know what to call it. Is it a language? Is it a religion?
universal.
Is it an emotion? Football is this amazing thing, you know. And to encourage young people will, you know, that sustainability factor will be, on an overarching level. You have a lot of young people now in India there are so many more football fans in this generation, you know, because they've had access to that. So to promote, grow and develop the sport itself from a 360 point of view, the more the sport grows, everything in this ecosystem within that sport will grow. And like Vidic very rightly said, he said the first thing, forget technique, forget everything. First, show kids how much they can love and enjoy the sport. It smiles first, you know. You get it. For the next generation, it's important that the kids are encouraged and shown the way. Give them a ball, let them kick it around, let them dribble, let them score, let them feel that emotion, let them become fans of football.
Okay. Well, having people like you involved can only help. Gentlemen, thank you so much indeed for the last half an hour. Please put your hands together
Thank you.
for our final panel today.